Yo, crypto nation and mining family, what's going on? What up, what up, what up? All you happy hashers out there, how's it going? You see, we got Jason the Tiger Osborne. He slid in here first this time. We got Crypto Bedell with the FR going, yeah, for free power from work. Yeah, buddy. Don't be jelly, Jason. Don't be jelly over there. What's up, Sadie? What's up? What's up, all you awesome people out there? Just coming on in. Don't forget to smash that Lizzie like button, dude. You know how the YouTube algorithm works. I don't make the rules. So what is going on, everybody? Hopefully everybody's having a good kick of the year. I mean, that sweet busy Bitcoin is doing fantastic. It's like I'm Mr. Boombastic, Mr. Fantastic, right? As Bitcoin sits there and is trying to tickle that $47,000 per sweet busy Bitcoin. Yo. And we know that when Bitcoin goes up, of course, the rest of the market is going to be a sea of green. So depending on when you get into certain one of these other poop coin positions, you know you're doing pretty good. You know, it's like this Monero over here. I've been mining this stuff. You know, so like I've been DCAing with CPU power. Oh, yo, it's been very profitable to be mining some of that Monero on CPU. And you guys are worried about, oh man, if I'm going to be mining, dude, it's especially for people not the OGs here. This one isn't to you guys. I mean, this is more for somebody who's stumbling across it and like mining, dude. That's gonna take that costs a lot of money and electricity. If you got an AMD CPU, you should check it out. You know, I'm not mining advice in any way, shape, or form, but if I've got an AMD CPU, it is mining. It is out of control. But I mean, a lot of your positions that you guys, you're depending on when you grabbed into some of these, if you hit it during the last bull run, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're not there yet. But if you've been sitting there dollar cost averaging down at the bottom, you know, everybody's doing pretty good. You're gonna feel like geniuses right now. You can take any poop coin at this point and you're doing good. But Bitcoin is definitely on that rise, fellas. We're gonna go ahead and check. I've been hashing away on Bedell's rig over here, making sure that you know it's hashing away nicely, right? So bam, I mean, it's just loving life over here. Absolutely loving life. Temperatures are perfectly acceptable. Yo, that's what I'm talking about, right? So, and it's kind of funny that none of these GPUs have fans on there, but yet Hive thinks that there's a fan spinning. Hilarious. And with 8 GPUs, the GPUs by themselves are pulling less than 600 watts. And then you got, it's sitting in a server case, so there's four server fans in there and a server fan for the power supply, all running on 240 right now. Yeah, I was trying to like pull together a bunch of stuff, and yeah, actually, what really got me, to be honest, was fighting the work rig. So that's like kind of where the updates are. It kind of rolls into that. So that's the other reason why I've got the boxes, I've got the packing material now. So I'll be able to sit there and make sure that they ship very nicely, right? And the work rig. That's son of a gun, right? So I get it together. So if anybody was like watching yesterday, you better go watch my nice video that I had yesterday. It was me building this thing, you know, doing rig maintenance and all that good stuff. And I get to the very end, I fire it up. It's firing up, but it's like it wasn't posting. So I was like, oh great, I gotta pull the motherboard out because the server case won't let me drop a GPU in it because there's no provision for a GPU to go down in there. So that's where I kind of ended the video yesterday. So I go into the I slot in a GPU in there. I get into BIOS, and I had to turn on above 4G encoding. It wasn't detecting any of the by one adapters, so I had to put it into by one. So I had to tell it what to do, and while I was in there, of course, I overclocked it, and I had to take off some of the legacy stuff off of there because it was being ran in Linux. This was like the Office PC motherboard. So this thing was basically just turned into a Linux machine. So I had to kind of halfway undo that because it's now in Windows so that I can bring it to work. Yada, 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 right? So after I get that all set up, I see them all in Windows. I was like, woohoo! I've never sat there and tried to really run a Windows rig before. I was like, okay, it's got to be just like running a Linux rig. So I started setting it up just the same way I would be for Hive. About 4G encoding, by one adapters, fires up. I see everything. I got video output. My video output on my 1660 Ti was kind of janky at best. The GPU is fine. It's not hurt. But I got to go in there and, like, obviously there's a lot of dust on the HDMI port. So I got to clean that. But either way, I put in a EVGA 1070 in there, and I'm pulling video from that. And then I've got three 1080 Ti's in there. They're not even pulling like 1,000 watts all together. I got a 1,600 watt power supply, so I got all the overhead in the room on this thing. So I mean, I do follow my own rules on this. I want to make sure that there's no way that if all the GPUs decide to go full tilt, there's only 4 of them, that it doesn't smack the rev limiter on the power supply. Power supply can handle it. That's not a problem. So I just kind of did a little overkill on it, and now I have to do some testing with it next. Now that I got everything together on there, I got mining software on there. I've set up fought Windows trying to get a lot of the mining software on there. Good God, Windows hates mining. I'm just gonna say it. You know how hard it is to get. I don't know. God bless anybody's heart that mines with Windows. You have the patience of a saint. Oh God. But what about solo mining on free power? I can certainly do stuff like that. I certainly can do stuff like that. So, yeah, I certainly can do stuff like that. Excellent, right? So sit there, hook this all up. I got a because there's no Ethernet cable that I can get into. I've got ordered up a wireless device so that I can Wi-Fi into it, which will unfortunately increase just a pinch of latency. But I'm like really close to where the central location for everything is. So yeah, and my phone gets Wi-Fi 6 when I'm at work, so it's got good internet over there. So that's not a problem. I have two 10-card Windows rigs. It was an adventure getting them to work, right? Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why I put it all into a nice little neat like server case. It looks like just a server case. That's it. I'm gonna stand it up on its end. It'll be pushed back, and it'll be my work PC. I'm gonna have some speakers set up on my toolbox. Oh yeah. So I've got a little subwoofer and some speakers. They bump. They bump. It's Logitech, not very expensive, but they do the trick. Window needs an update. Better stop crypto mining. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So after fighting with this rig trying to get it going, I had to pull apart my the Gigabyte 1080 Ti, replace the fans on those. It had two Mr. Wobblies and one I quit. So basically that thing was getting warm. And get all that together. Now it's nice and quiet. And then I noticed that my my Zotac Amp Extreme was like getting really warm. Shine flash. I know it's like really close to the MSI Duke card. I know it's close. So I go to take a flashlight to it and I shine down there, and it's got 3 I Quit fans. Yeah, they ain't spinning, not a single one of them. And it's like you got one that's twitching. Well, hold on here. It's got one fan spinning all the way at the end. The other 2 fans are non-existent, so I've got to wait for fans to come in, and because they're bloody Zotacs, yep, because they're Zotacs, yeah, they don't, you cannot. It's so stupid. It really is. But you cannot get this thing to like stay. You cannot get this rig to stay cool at all. It's just, and I gotta wait like a month, so I can't bring this to work. So that's the update on the rig. So, but I got it running. I was able to. I had it running until the Zotac got too hot for my standards, and I just shut down the miner. I'm sure if I put like a server fan in there, that it would overcome that problem. But again, I don't want to make it sound like I'm mining. It's coming to work, trying to be incognitus, right? My work, it's like my work has over 50 240-volt plugs open. Only issue in the morning when they turn the machines on, each machine dims the lights. I asked about an area for ASICs. Huh. Uh-oh. Somebody's like a knocking. Hold on, guys. Hold on, fellas. Be right back. Sorry about that, people. Had strange people in the yard looking for a dog. So I had to, I went out there to supervise that. Sorry for the interruption. Like, it was nice of them to at least knock on the door to let me know, you know? Like, with great power comes greater responsibilities. Yeah. It's like, and here comes the true story of the cat. Yep. This is the true star of the show right here, Cammy. She's too good to look at you. She's too good to look at you. I'm just saying. Cam, look at your fans. These people want you to say hello. Sorry about that, fellas. Sorry. So, where was I? All right. So, with the rig now, I've got the rig all together. So now I'm waiting for the wireless the wireless antenna to come in because I've got no access to Ethernet, so I got to get that set up. And that'll have Wi-Fi 5 gigahertz. So my work has Wi-Fi 6, and I'm going to be pretty damn close to the hub point, so I should get pretty damn good signal. So I really shouldn't have any real packet loss of any sort, which would be nice. Let's see here. Yeah, and everything should just run really nicely. So I'll be really happy about it. So, and then once I get the new fans for my Zotac card coming in here, I'm thinking it'll be here like sometime next month. Because it's Zotac, there's nothing in the United States for Zotac. Even though it's just that it's an older card, so it's got to come from Chickadee, China. So anywhere from now until I think the 27th or something like that, could be on the high side. I've had them come in like 2.5 weeks. So it kind of all depends on how quickly they can push it all through customs. Because unfortunately, if you're ordering directly from China, they don't just have customs. They've got customs, and then they have Chinese customs. International customs is a pretty big outfit. Lots of people, Packages come and go real quick. Then it hits Chinese customs. Real small, government controlled, not much money in there. Very slow. So it depends on how quickly they can get it to go through Chinese customs, because once it goes through Chinese customs, I think it's like a week and a half, something like that, and you get it. So most of the time it sits in Chinese customs. If you ever are curious of why, man, it takes forever to order from China. It's because it's sitting in Chinese customs. I've been dealing with this garbage for years. I wish there was a better way. I'm sure every vendor in China wishes there was a better way of dealing with this. So unfortunately. So anyway, you know, we'll have to see how long it's gonna be once I get all of that in, because I need those fans. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to send it with a different GPU in there. I don't know what GPU I'd want to pull and put in there. I mean, I could, but I need to get a. I still would, no matter how I look at it, it still needs a fan setup for it. Even if I pull that card out, I need to fix those fans because the only one works out of 3. And it's the one all the way at the tail end that doesn't do the bulk of the cooling. Yay. So it's not a very effective cooler anymore. I mean, it's got a thick, chunky cooler. I mean, it does cool down, but not quite enough. And I wish the fin orientation was horizontal and not vertical, because then, of course, I'd be able to sit there and, run this thing a lot better. So anyway, now that we've gotten past that part, so hopefully I'll have the cards to you, Bedell. I'll pack them up probably like right after the stream, or I'll do it tomorrow when I get off of work. One of the two, and then figure out when I'll be able to get them shipped to you and go from there. Maybe take a lunch break and ship them out on my lunch break or something like that. You know how this works. We do what we can. But don't worry, no worries. You will get your rig. Don't worry. Last thing I want to do is have somebody else's rig. These cards are going to find another glorious home. And I've got 1070s, guys, that if you guys are interested, hit me up in the Discord. Links down below. Like 6 to 10 inches of that snow in the next 24 hours. Be safe. Shipping can wait. Roger that. Yeah, I don't even know. I haven't even been paying attention to this snow thing. I know it's going to be happening. I really haven't paid any real attention to that. So it looks like it should start snowing at about 10 p.m. tonight, my Central Standard Time. And then it should be snowing all the way to Friday. And then we've got our first negative degrees out. Ooh. This I haven't looked at. Stop jumping around, Mr. Weather Channel. Right here, so 25 at night, -5 on Sunday, -5 on Monday. So that'll be next week. Yeah. So next week is we're going to have an actual in the negatives. This will be a test of the Chunkins. I might give them a little supplemental heat during that time. Probably will. I have a little supplemental heat that I can give them. A little radiant heat. And set it up in the coop. This way they're not. The temp doesn't drop below 0 in the coop. I know they can handle it. They're supposedly good to like -30 below, but it's gonna be below 0. We can give them a little extra heat in the coop. I'll just have to figure out how to do that. I think I have a good idea of how I'm gonna do it. I have a roosting box side that I'm not using. I have it blocked off, and I could probably open up a little bit, allow a cord to come in, shut everything, and at least it'll be a little bit warmer in there. So we'll use the device that the Wi-Fi got. Are the snowmobiles ready? Could be a good weekend for them. Mine should be. All I should have to do with mine, because I ran it out of gas, which is pretty much the best way to deal with a carburetor. Just let it run out of gas. I should be able to just fill it up. It should fire up fairly easy. The wife sled, I need to disconnect the oil feed for this thing and pre-mix everything in the fuel tank. A 10-7 wouldn't want to endanger the card like that. That's no poop on the card. Birds like to poop on things. I mean, like everything. Like you look around and you're like, how'd you get over there and poop on it? Oh, that's wild. If they didn't poop on everything, I'd be like, bet. But I've got a lot of the wind cut out for them. I mean, it's not like they're in the direct wind at all. So it's not like they're gonna see a wind chill. So whatever the air temp is outside is what they're gonna feel. But getting back into things here. Let's get back into the newsies. So, if you guys hadn't checked out that NVIDIA did the CES event today, a lot of other YouTubers and stuff, if you haven't been watching anybody else, they basically went over all the things they're excited about into the future. So pretty much everything is AI focused with NVIDIA. There's no real hardware improvements in the real near future that I can see. Which, how can I put this? Like, we don't really need hardware after hardware after hardware. If they've already gotten the hardware beyond what the software is capable of utilizing, let's get the software to catch up to where the hardware is at. And actually utilize the hardware more effectively. And it looks like that's the route that they're going with the AI improvements. They're going to be coming out with DLSS 3.5. So they're going to be doing a lot of software updates in there, which will make your game run smoother. You'll have better frame rate generation with the AI with every update, and it should be everything that is utilizing the DLSS with the ray tracing should all see the uptick, whether you were on first gen or third gen. So just kind of look at it from that point of view too, guys, that you will, anybody who are running these, you're going to see an uptick in it. Anybody who's running like the GTX series still, you can get some of the uptick, but you're not going to get the full barrage of what they're trying to implement, because you just don't have the core. The cores aren't there to support everything. So at that point, you're slowly just kind of like seeing your hardware getting outdated from the gaming perspective. Now, does it mean that, oh my god, I got a 1060, I've got to go get a new GPU? No. It just means that you're not gonna be able to push the full color gambit and have movie mode and have all the frame rate. Who cares about that? As long as I've got the draw distance to be able to snipe, we're in business. That's how I look at it. I need miner support for my 7800 XT. Very miners and very few algorithms. I can mine on them. Yes. Unfortunately, that's how it is with a lot of newer hardware. I mean, take for instance my Intel card. How long has the ARC GPU's been out? Hive still has no integration with it. So there's that. It's one of those things of like, whenever I got my 1660 Ti originally, it was like a month before I was really able to utilize the GPU right. I think it was like a month and a half or so before Mikkel was able to utilize his 1660 Ti at all. So I got the Asus ROG Strix 1660 Ti. It worked, kind of. Mikkel got the MSI 1660 Ti. I forget which edition it was, but I remember it was the MSI. And it literally, nothing he plugged it into would recognize the GPU, other than plugging it into Windows as a a normal gaming rig. But for mining software, nothing, no support for it for like over a month. It was like a month and a half, I think, before he was like, I'm able to use my card. I could finally test. It's like that sucks. So I think it just kind of depends on how many people are utilizing those in the first place, and getting all the devs have to get the drivers, and once they get the drivers, they've got to be incentivized to want to update their mining software, So like bug the devs over at LOL Miner. Be like, guys, I need support. I mean, unless you can plug it into Windows and see if you can mine it that way, if it works better with Windows support. But that's kind of where I would be at with it, though. So, I mean, at least you got it going, though. I mean, if it's profitable, let it hash. Yo. Right. Yeah. But anyway, with all the CES stuff, and all the AI development, it looks like Twitch, Nvidia, OBS, or Nvidia announced to improve video streaming on Twitch powered by OBS, and which for anybody who's doing it everything on OBS, it's going to be awesome because now you're going to be able to use your AV1 encoder, a royalty-free codec, which requires less bandwidth for higher quality video, but requires that same streaming hardware that supports the encoding in this format. For viewers, this should become less of a worry as modern GPUs, as APUs, even mobile SoCs continue to be updated with AV1 decoding. Furthermore, the AV1 encoding will not be limited to NVIDIA hardware. Of course not. Intel is already doing this. They've already implemented their variation of AV1 encoding that has been working very well. But it's nice to see that they're finally going to be moving forward with a lot of this stuff, and a lot of this is being allowed because of the AI enhancements on here. They're able to get the shift over with better software that's going to basically just allow them to offload some of the workload on the GPU, and take advantage of the AI encoding into everything, and I wonder how much the AI is going to cheat it out. But if it's still producing good quality video, and let's say you're a gamer and it's not, and your gaming is not taking a hit from it, then I'm cool with it. It's not going to do anything for us mining people. This is just things that are because of AMD or Nvidia is going to be going out and updating their AI development on here. It's just making way for a lot of this stuff to happen a lot better. So that's all this is going to be. Twitch is going to be able to integrate all the stuff. So they're working with Nvidia to get this baked into the backside. OBS, I love that because I use it. It's free. It's an amazing software. Open broadcast system. I'm streaming to you guys now utilizing OBS. If they integrate AV1 encoding on here, I would love to see how this is going to work with YouTube. Because I don't think YouTube has AV1 encoding quite yet. But I could be wrong. I'd have to dig into that. So, I mean, if I'm wrong, let me know, guys. But it's just going to be another cool little tool. I'll check it out, see how it works. If it takes too much of a hit, I mean, I got a 3080 Ti. If it takes a big hit on my system, that means you got to have a 40 series to be able to utilize that properly. Then, like a 4090 would do it. Brute force. You might have to. It'd be cool to see this actually being done with Discord too. If Discord got into all of this, and I don't know. I think if they could have a Discord integration in there, it would allow a lot of the content creators to actually utilize Discord once again, like we used to back in the day, instead of having to pay for a subscription to Zoom. I could just use my Discord account free. I love utilizing free. I don't want to have to pay for stuff if I don't have to. I know that Discord's gotten better with their encoder on there, because we started having issues with it glitching on us bad. Over the years, they've gotten better for sure. I thought about going back to it. I know that my Zoom just updated, so I might I might be canceling it after this. Uh, it, but I need to test run it through Discord first. If it's running good through Discord, I might go back to the whole Discord thing because it's free, guys. I love free. But yeah, I mean, it does nothing for us for mining wise. But some stuff that's good for mining, more hardware, yo. So MSI unveils the custom RTX 40 Super Series, the Apex Evolution, the 40 Super Series. That first card up in the front, I'm wondering if this is a Founders Edition card. Did MSI actually just come out with their version of the NVIDIA card? Or they just outright bought the PCB and just designed a cooler around it? Which, I would assume that that's like probably the easiest way to do it. This way you don't have to have any kind of custom build on there, and you can just produce a GPU. This is how you cut corners. You just take what NVIDIA is already producing and you slap your own cooler on it. But I give it up to them. That's very smart from a business standpoint. But we're going to get another Supreme. I don't know if they're going to give us a Supreme X. But you got the Gaming X Trio. And then you got the Gaming X Slim and the Slim White. I don't know how they can call it Slim if it's a triple bay. This is a 3-DIN slot card. You can see the 3 tabs on the back I/O shield. Maybe the card is it. Maybe the I/O shield's wider than the card is. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is only a 2-DIN card, but it's got a 3-DIN bracket on there. Maybe that's what it is. You got the Ventus 2X and then the Ventus 3X, 2-fan or 3-fan. But my whole thing is like I'm interested in that sexy little card there in the middle. I'm curious to see if their solution is better than NVIDIA's. Because you got one that's going to be a blower fan, and then one that's going to be a pull-through. So it's the same setup that NVIDIA is using directly. They did nothing different for this card. So, with that being said, the bulk of the heat is being blown out the blower side for the VGA core. The back side is going to be like kind of your overspill and your VRMs, and your MOSFETs, memory modules, all that good stuff. So, but I am interested to see what the thermals are on that particular card, because that's going to tell you if their solution was as adequate as NVIDIA, and I want to see it under a significant workload. Like Time Spy, Furmark, one of the big bad boys that'll really just kind of hammer that GPU and see where the temps go on this thing, because that'll tell you if the card's good enough to be able to keep up with mining, especially if you see somebody testing it on Furmark, or the one that looks like the flaming eyeball that is graphically intensive. So it'll warm up that GPU in a hurry. And because it's just a constant barrage, it's going to put that kind of mining workload on there, and then just superheat the cooler on there, and you should be able to get your temperature ceiling on this. And I would say if it can hang on there and stay, let's say, 71, 72 Celsius, I think that's actually not too bad, because that'll be giving it a lot more power than what you would as a mining card. But these are going to be your 40 Super Series. Very interesting. It's going to be pretty interesting to see these cards operate mining wise, because like the TIs are already pretty expensive for what they are. I mean, let me see here. Did I pull that up? Yes, I did. Here we go. I mean, the RTX 4070 Ti originally got listed at $799 last year. This year, the 4070 Ti Super being listed at the same price, $799. So you're dealing with what I would consider an 80 class GPU pricing. To me, this is where the 80 class should be. But if you picked out the 4070 Ti a year ago, this is kind of like a middle finger to you at the same time. You're now going to be pulling out a much better card. You're basically getting a 4080 cut down GPU, because the 4080 is on the 8103 die. The 4070 Ti Super is the 8103. So it is an 80 class GPU. Like I said, $799 to me is an 80 class price point. So you're getting a cut down 80 class. So this one basically, it's a 4080 that failed. Not by much, but enough. So you're getting more CUDA cores with the 4070 Ti Super. The naming is like now just ridiculous. You're getting the same style GDDR6X memory, but you're going to get 16 gigabytes now, which is going to allow you to have a higher boost frequency. Your boosting frequencies on your core and your memory are in relationship to each other. So with a little bit more memory in there, you're going to be able to change your boost frequencies up pretty high, significantly, which will change the characteristics of how the 8103 die set will actually react. You're getting a much faster memory bus. You're getting a 256 instead of a 192. In a 40 series card, a 256 bus should be the minimum. We shouldn't be using a 192 bit bus anymore. That is multiple generations old at this point. But here we are. They're still giving it out. Your boosting frequency on the base clock, you're running a little bit higher. But your boosting clock, they're boosting out at about the same amount. Memory clock, you're at the same 21 gigabytes per second. Your bandwidth, you are getting a little bit more bandwidth on the 4070 Ti Super. You're going to get 672 gigabytes per second instead of 504. Power target should be about the same. You're going to still get that same crappy 12 volt high power connector on there. No getting around this, unfortunately. But what's going to be like nice about this is you're going to have a 80 class GPU basically running at the same power delivery as a 70 class. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds, I guess, from the mining perspective. You're going to get a little bit more performance, but there's going to be no getting around it. It's going to try to use that 285 watts. Where like the 4070 Ti, you know, you might be able to get it down to like 200 watts. You see what the difference is on that, you know, where the 4070 Ti Super is going to want to have a little bit more power because it's a much better bin chip. It's got more CUDA cores in there. It's going to be doing more work. So you're not going to be able to get the power to drop on this particular card as nicely as you would like it. It'll drop, but you're not going to, it's going to basically run as the same power load as the 1080 Ti class did. Because that's about where the power draw was on those 1080 Ti's back in the day. And give or take. So, I mean, the most that I was able to get my 1080 Ti's to drop down power-wise was like 150 watts. So, you know, take it or leave it. You know, you bring it down to 150 watts, you're also significantly handicapping its mining performance, but you're also controlling the heat on these things. So, depending on the cooler on there that you're going after, will depend on its total performance on this thing. Just remember, the Ti Super is going to want more power. So make sure that you have a cooler on there that has a lot of ventilation on it. Don't be getting one that has all the shroud wrapping around the entire cooler because it looks nice. Those cards are going to run hot. You're going to lose performance through thermal throttling. You're not going to have a good day. Oh God, I said it once and I'll say it again. I wish that YouTube would stop having crypto scams being used as ads. Yeah, I concur to that one. I totally concur with that. So, yeah, I mean, we're definitely gonna be looking at. I think we're not gonna get as much hardware GPU wise coming out. I think we'll get like refreshes of refreshes, them figuring out how to tweak a card here, tweak a card there, and they'll make a new product stack. I don't see that we're gonna see any real significant leaps and bounds, at least not until maybe the end of the year. We might see the 50 series cards. I mean, we've already seen some like hints and rumors on the 50 class coming out being a thing. But if I was a GPU manufacturer, you have that race that you want to make sure that you're always producing new hardware. But you also want to make sure that the hardware that's already out there is being utilized at its full potential. Because the more features that you give your product stacks for GPUs wise, the more enticing it is for people that are on older hardware to actually get rid of that older hardware for the newer hardware, because you've given out so much more value that they were like, oh, this is a no-brainer, I should get this. So, and if they keep on just going, oh, we'll just produce a new card, you tend to sit there and take older hardware and it gets pushed off to the wayside. I get it, sometimes some of the hardware needs to be pushed off to the wayside, like the 20 series. That was them understanding the ray tracing course. And I would say they probably did it an all right job, but they found an immediate limitation of what they can do with it. So they get to the 30 series and they're like, aha, we had a breakthrough, you know. And then the 40 series, they got it nice and stable, but now the software is not utilizing it at all. So now they can hold off, fine tune the 50 series, maybe pull out the 50 series next year. I don't think that you need to be sitting there producing hardware year after year after year, because you get into an area where you're, oh, it's like 10% better, right? You're gonna buy it, right? For 10% better. No, you're gonna wait like 5, 6, 7 generations. This way it's 50 to 70% better than what you're currently utilizing. You know, it's like, make it worth my while to give up what I have. I mean, the number one gaming GPU still, believe it or not, is 1060. There's a reason for it, because these newer GPUs, although they are good, they're not giving enough value for somebody to go, you know what, I'm going to spend $500, $600, $700 on a new GPU. These people are not miners. So they're looking at value. They want to know what the best bang for my buck is, and is stuff like this, going to do it. On our RTX 4080, 1100, you might as well call it $1,200 for a 4080. $1,200. I can have the rest of the PC built for $500. And I'm going to spend more than double all the other parts for one component. That's why people don't want to sit there and upgrade. It's like, Jesus Christ, that's more than my entire PC build. It's like my PC build here, my Threadripper setup, this is a $5,000 setup. Why? Because it's got a $2,000 3080 Ti. Yeah, $2,000. Because it came. I bought it while the mining boom was happening and the shortages everywhere. The perfect storm with all the scalpers, and I wanted to get one so that I had it for testing. And now it's in my computer. Made my computer really expensive, and then I put a water block on it. Because if I'm going to do it, I might as well just do it right? But, I mean, it's like, and are you going to sit there and entice somebody a 70 class for $600? It's like, you want to sit there and you want to get somebody off of their 1060, Ti. That person that bought that 1060 Ti spent like $200 to $300. I don't see any of these cards in that person's price range. Nor do I don't see enough value added with any of these cards to need it. Why? Because that same person who's got the 1060 Ti gaming rig, right? That same person has also got a 1080p monitor. So 4070 on a 60 hertz monitor, maybe he's got 120 hertz refresh rate on his because he kind of put in a little extra on his monitor and got a good one. So he's got 120, maybe 140 hertz monitor, but it's 1080p. None of these cards is he going to see a huge uptick on it. He can sit there and go for a used 30 class for a couple of $100 now, and find better value that direction than going after these newer cards. Now, from the mining perspective, yeah, we always want to get into the latest and greatest hardware for sure, right? Because you have more CUDA cores on there, so it has the more potential to do work. And then you got to have that discussion with yourself of how much money you're willing to spend on it, because 4080 is to buy a 4080 is $1,200. A 4080 Super is $1,000. And the Super, it's like you're getting a better card for the 4080 Super. You're getting it for $1,000. It's not leaps and bounds better, but man, if I had already bought an RTX 4080 and I saw the Super, I'd be kind of mad about that. I'd be a little mad, just a little bit, because yeah, somebody who would have known that would have held off, going, oh, they're gonna come out with a better card. I want the better card. Nope. That's not how this is working. NVIDIA's seeing that people are slowing down on the purchasing. And as this happens, you will see product stacks hopefully start coming down in price. That's my hope. As the especially as the economy starts slowing down, people aren't getting the pay raises like they were. It's like, so we will see how this all will roll out. Let's see here. I wanted to check in something here. This is like for work, real quick. Sorry, guys. I wanted to check something. That did not change. Okay. But yeah, so we're definitely going to be seeing some of the hardware coming out, and I don't think that we're going to see big leaps and bounds differences on a lot of this stuff. That's just my opinion as of right now. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on that. Do you think that we're going to see the 50 series come out and it's going to be like this leap and bound difference at the end of the year? Or do you think that NVIDIA should hold off until next year to come out with a new GPU and just make the GPUs that they currently have work great? Because it's like they're already kind of focusing in on AI development. That's what most of their CES keynote speeches was all about. The AI development. I think that's the direction that they're going to be going in the future. And AI development is going to be more server-based stuff. You'll see a little bleed over into the GPU market, being utilized where it really needs for some of the acceleration, being able to cheat out some of the graphical interface so that they can kind of disperse load. And you know what, if it's got the color accuracy, frame rate, and no lag on there, I'm cool with it. Let them cheat it out all they want. But from the mining point of view, it's not going to do us any good. If they keep doing these little itty bitty incremental upticks, I would just say that if you guys are looking to upgrade your farms at this point, just find whatever's got the best deal. If you're looking to actually update your farms in any fashion, find the best deals, snag it up, and if it's in your price range and it's what you're looking for. You don't necessarily need to go for shelling out for the best of the best. These are the markets where you want to find the most efficient. Like my man Crypto Badell over here. He's picking up RX 580s. Super efficient, especially with fans stripped off and put into a server case. C'est la vie. These things are like hash monsters. 100%. So does anybody got any comments or questions before I head up out of here? Thank you everybody for being here. Certainly smash that Lizzie like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. You guys know what to do. I see 6 awesome people and there's only 3 smashed Lizzie likes, guys. All right, well, if you guys don't have any other comments or questions here, then certainly drop some FAs in the Chizzity chat because you guys are rated F for freaking awesome. Oh, for sure. Hopefully everybody enjoys the show. New year. We're going to try to crank out these videos again. Try to make these things a little bit more on the regular. Gotta make some time for this stuff. Even if I have to go back to like pre-recordings and like at least do a 10-20 minute video here and there, just to get some good quality content out for all of you awesome hashers out there. And everybody, we've made it through Monday. It is Monday. You know, for most of us, the work day is over. I had today off. It just so happened to work out that way. Every other week, I have Monday off. And then we got the star of the show. Of course, she's got to say goodbye to all you guys. Say goodbye. Thank you, Sadie. FA to everybody. Peace out. Stay savage. May your watts be low, your hash be high. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Yo. Seriously, see you guys on the next one. Have a good week. I'll try to I'm not sure when I'll be doing another stream next, but I'm going to try to start putting out some content like I used to. So stay tuned for all of that good stuff. See you on the next one.